What is going on, guys? My name is Hayward. I'm the CEO of Coach Hayward. In today's training, what we're going to be going over is how can you lose weight with a busy working lifestyle. So that means if you work 40-hour plus weeks, how do we actually lose weight with the time that we have? Okay. Without further ado, let's jump into the Google Docs. Okay, so as you can see here on my screen, I've pulled up the lose weight with a 40-hour work week. The topics we're going to go over is we're just going to go over the typical schedule of what someone may have. Of course, every single person is different though, so this is like kind of more cut down. So next is things that you can do, some steps that you can do, and then lastly, what I do with my own personal lifestyle. Okay. So let's jump into this training. Now, before I go through everything, I just want to ask, as I always do, if you get some value out of this training, if you learn something new, if this helps you on your journey, then make sure that you like and you subscribe and share to a friend if someone is in need of that help. So I think that sounds like a pretty good deal. All right. How do we lose weight though with a 40-hour work week? Okay. Now, I wanted to do this training, guys, because I hear a lot from the woman I talk to is that, Caden, I am so busy in my daily life. I work full time, or I have kids full time, or I'm always on the go. I feel like I'm a taxi. So let's break it down on how we can actually do that. Okay. So schedule. Okay. So typically the average person will say can work from 9 to 5 or work from like 8 to 4, whatever it may be, but we'll do 8 to 4 today. Okay. So let's say you work 8-hour days, you work 5 times a week, okay? And you go from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Okay, so typically the average person will probably wake up then around 6:30, depending on the drive they have. So either 6:30. Now, in the morning, that'll basically just give you time to get ready for the day. You don't really have much time there because you're just waking up and getting or going. Now, unless you're the type of person who likes to do morning workouts, now it just really depends on the person. But if you are the type of person that does like to do morning workouts and get her done in the morning, then that's perfect. But most of the time, most people are just getting up in the morning, getting ready for the day. Okay. Now, little side note, it is actually when you do morning workouts, you just want to be more careful as you have to warm up your body better. I find some people can get sick in the mornings as well if they don't eat anything before their workouts or whatever it may be. And also your cortisol levels are different in the morning as well. So the most effective time to actually work out, guys, is like around 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., I believe. So around the afternoon. But that being said, you can work out at any time. It's just whatever is going to suit your schedule and suit you. So wake up in the morning and you get to work 8 to 4 p.m. Okay. And really the only time you have around here is like your lunchtime to be able to actually get some sort of activity in. And if not, getting your steps in, trying to move as much as possible. If you work a desk job, trying to get up every 50 minutes or so and just walk around or whatever it may be. And then anyways, now you have a gap between here though after you get off work and then supper time. Okay, so we'll see the average of supper is like 6 p.m. because maybe you have kids, you have to go pick them up, or maybe you go see friends, or you have an activity to do after work, so you have to go do that. So we'll say supper is around 6 p.m. Okay. And then now we have a gap in between that. So the evening, and then bed around 11 p.m. because really all you need is 7 hours sleep. You don't want to go less than 7 hours, that's for sure. But 7 hours for the average person is usually perfect. And if not, 8 hours is perfect too. Okay. So you can go to bed around 10 p.m., 11 p.m. But we'll say 11 p.m. That'll get us 7.5 hours sleep if you're working up at 6:30. Okay. So we'll say this is like the average schedule. So where do we have time? Where can we find some time to make this work? Okay. Number one, what I'm seeing here is if you are a mother and you have kids, okay, and very busy with your kids, then maybe in the morning might be the best time for you. So you can just wake up earlier. So if you want, you can go to bed at 11 p.m., we'll say. Okay. And usually your kids, though, will be in bed a lot earlier than 11 p.m. So let's say you put them to bed around, if they're really young, it could be like 8, 9 p.m. But if they're like in middle school or high school, perhaps it's around 10 p.m. or so. And you don't really need to, watch them, though, if they're that age at that time. But let's say they do that. So then that way you can go to bed yourself around 10 p.m. or so. So then go to bed a little earlier, wake up a little bit earlier, and then add that time in to get that activity in the morning. So that's number one. Okay, is just waking up earlier, making sure. So if you're sleeping 9 to 10 hours a night, well then cut it back to like 7 hours or 8 hours. And there you go. You can still function perfect most of the time. So that's step number one, is the mornings. Number two, so work. So you can work out at your lunchtime if you're trying to get some activity in. So at your lunchtime, eat really quickly and then go for a workout. You either have 30 minutes to an hour. So if you only have 30 minutes, eat for 15 minutes and then go out and do some steps or something. Walk around the block, get some movement in your body. Every step counts. Next is supper time. So in between here and here, so right after work, make a routine. Right after work, head to the gym, get that gym session done, or go home and work out before supper and get her done. A lot of my clients like to do that as well. And if you have kids here, well, then maybe this not be the best suit. But if they're young kids, there's possibly something you could make them do while you're working out, or they can even go to the gym with you. So that is an opportunity there. So that is a huge space of time though right here between supper and after work, where we can, most of us can definitely get her done. Now after supper, so we will have supper, and then after supper, let's say you can then clean up everything, make sure everything's all good, so you're done by 7 p.m. or so, we'll say 7:30. And then that'll allow your stomach to digest the food as you're cleaning up and getting everything ready, and then you can work out after. So let's say around 7 p.m. or so, because you have so much time around here and in between. So as you can see, we have a lot more time than we think, but we spend a lot of our time, it's just wasted on our phones. We'll sit on our phones for an hour and we won't even know it, or we'll sit on our phone or we'll watch TV for an hour and we won't even know it. And we'll say like, oh my gosh, I never have any time. I can't even sit down and relax. And it's like, the time just flies, and time just flies, and it's not about not having time. It's just about what we do with the time we do have, because we can crush a workout in like 30 minutes, like crush a workout in 30 minutes. So we do have time. It's just about finding that time. And lastly is, if you have really young kids, then let's say they go to bed around 8 p.m. or so, then you can work out after, or hop on, do some cycling, go for a nighttime jog, whatever it may be. Now, that is the workout side of things. Okay. Now, the most important thing though here is, let's say someone works, 50, 60 hour weeks or something like that. Well, the most important thing here that you'll want to focus on is the nutrition. Now, every single person has time in the day to eat. We all eat or else we'd be dead. So we can all make sure we perfect our nutrition, because when it comes to weight loss, you know, 90% of it is going to come from the nutrition. So we have to eat anyways. So we might as well just perfect our eating, fit it in with our schedule, also make sure it matches our social life. And, we can still have that balance. But at the end of the day, hit our end goals too. When you can combine all that together, you have no problem losing this weight. The problem with most diet plans, though, is that they're super restricted and they don't really customize them around you. They're just saying, okay, this is what you have to do to lose the weight. But it's like, if you've never done that before, if you don't like it and you have to go 0 to 100 on it, odds are you're not going to be able to stick with it. Even myself, like the average person just wouldn't be able to stick with it, because it's not sustainable long term, and we're not properly building the habits and getting into that lifestyle. And most people just don't want to eat chicken broccoli every day, right? So that is that there. But when it comes to this, yeah, so wake up, make sure you get your heavy breakfast in. If you have to, just wake up 30 minutes earlier, whatever it may be. Make sure you get that breakfast in, set those alarms, get up, and then next, having your lunch at work, having some snacks at work if you need them, and then making sure you get a nice decent supper in as well. And make sure it's like high protein filling. You're getting a lot of water in through the day. So then when it comes time to getting in bed, you're not starving. You're not having those midnight cravings either. So perfecting the nutrition is going to be very, very important when it comes to this, especially for anybody living a busy, busy lifestyle and they don't want to live in the gym. Okay. So that is that there. So a few other things that you guys can do is, number one is, like I said, perfect our nutrition. Okay, perfect the nutrition, protein in every single meal, etc. Number two is using the time that we do have. So just not being lazy, just getting up, getting things done, moving as much as possible, making the things a priority. So walking or whatever it may be, if we have a dog or whatever, make sure we walk them every single day, etc. Next is perfect your lifestyle. Okay. So that means like getting to sleep on time, getting on a proper schedule, getting things done and being effective with the time that we do have and making sure that we can fit it all in and make it work. Okay. Every person can do that. It just takes a little bit of planning and a little bit of time blocking. Okay. Okay, number four is preparation. So you could do meal prep. Okay, the biggest things I see some people struggle with is not being prepared. So not having that lunch ready, and then because that then leads to either you starving and then you come home late at night and you just eat a ton of food and then you're completely off, or you're just in risks now to get diabetes long term. So that could happen, or you go get fast food at lunch and just eat a bunch of fast food, and we all know what's going to happen there. Okay. So prepare. So you can meal prep either, a lot of my clients, they meal prep like 2 times through the week. Sorry. Either on Sundays or like a Wednesday or something like that. So like halfway, so they keep having fresh food. They like to do that. Me personally, I usually eat a lot of like leftovers and stuff with my food. So it's like pack a lunch and everything in the morning, have a huge breakfast in the morning, come home for supper, and then deal with that there. Either have that ready or having leftovers, whatever it may be. So that's kind of like my approach. Just kind of go as like come as I go. Now I am moving soon to a new apartment. I think what I'm going to try out is the meal prepping though. I kind of want to try it. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys updated on that. Next though is making sure that you make yourself a priority. Okay. It's important. It is definitely amazing and important to help other people. Of course, we never want to stop that, but we have to become the priority. We have to make ourselves a priority. And in turn, that will help other people. Because if we're not at our best, if we're not alive, if we're not able to walk around and move around and help people, then we can't do much eventually. So that's why we want to make sure we're at our healthiest, we're at our mental is our healthiest, we're our happiest selves, and we're feeling awesome. The only way to do that is that we make sure we take care of ourselves and make sure that we are growing at our best. Okay. So making sure that you put yourself as a priority, put yourself first, get your task done. Whatever you got to do, you got to get her done. One of my clients, his name's Noah, and he's amazing at this. He's putting himself as a priority. He's making sure that's it. I'm tired of putting others before me. I'm getting my work done first. I'm doing what's important to me. And this is a family man too. So we have to make ourselves a priority, especially, you moms and stuff. If you have kids, it's so easy, put them before you. Or a lot of like healthcare workers I see, they put a lot of people before themselves as well. And we had to put ourselves first. Okay. So next, what do I do? So like I mentioned with my nutrition, that's basically what I do. I work around like 12-hour days and I work out about 5 times a week. Okay. Now it's easier for me because I love this stuff. So it's like, I want to go to the gym. Like I look forward to going to the gym. So I just make it work. I just make it work. And I sacrifice the time, like other places. And I don't have kids or nothing right now. So it's like, I will work from 7 a.m. to like 7 p.m. or so, we'll say. And then I will go to the gym from 7 p.m. to like 8:30. I will come home. I will have my supper, and then I'll hop in bed. And then around 9:30 or so, and I wake up at 5, and then I kind of repeat my schedule. And I make sure I get a massive breakfast in the morning. So I make sure I have enough time to cook a huge breakfast to get those calories in. And then my lunch is around 10 a.m. So I'll take 30 minutes or so, and I'll eat there. And then I have another like snack slash like an extra meal around 3 p.m. Okay. And then after I have that 3 p.m. meal, I then go to the gym, and then I take non-stimulant pre-workout. So pre-workout with no caffeine in it. And then after I come home, and I have a pretty big supper as well, high protein stuff in every single meal. And as my eating schedule right now, it hasn't been bad, but the only problem is for me right now is that if I miss that meal during the day at 3 p.m., I'm dead at the end of my work day. I am dead when I go to the gym and it's not effective. So we got to make sure that we're not skipping out those meals. So that is the training for today though, guys. I hope this really helped you. I hope this opened your eyes up to show you that, we do have more time than we think. And by us reaffirming that belief of like, I never have time, I never have time, I never have time, we're never going to have time because we're reaffirming that belief. So always tell ourselves, like, I got time. I got time. I can do this. I can fit that in. I can make that work. I'll make that work. Those are the words that we want to be talking to ourselves. We don't want to be using any negativity. And that is, in a sense, negativity when it comes to our goals, because we're telling ourselves we can't do it because we don't have time. So we want to tell ourselves, like, I will make time. Because the thing is like, if your kid was in the hospital for say, okay, for example, if you had a kid and they're in the hospital, you would make time every single day to go see them in the hospital. Okay. And you would make it work because that is the number one priority. That is the number one priority, is seeing them, making sure they're healthy and going to be okay. So put yourself as the priority, put yourself first, and make sure you get that done. So lastly, do you need some help? Do you need some help with this transformation? Are you a busy working woman and you're just struggling to lose that weight? Either if it's just that last 10 pounds, or if it's, 50, 60, 100 plus pounds, whatever it may be. If you've been struggling for some time now, then click the link below in the description and book your one-on-one breakthrough session. Okay. And let's just see if this would be a good fit for you, as I want to help you make this change. And those who take action are the ones who see the changes happen. Okay. So other than that, guys, thank you for showing up to the training. I always appreciate when you guys like my videos, when you share them, etc. And I hope this really, really helps you on your journey and making these changes happen. Now, as I said, if you did get some value from this, if this really helped open your eyes up, whatever it may be, make sure you do like, subscribe, and share it with a friend if they need some help as well. Other than that, I'll see you guys next training, and thank you so much for showing